it's more in the category of improvisation. I feel, in the Western term, but I feel the improvisation has many categories, many different levels. So improvisation alone for me, I feel not enough for a spiritual music to be improvisation. I think, like for me, I meditate at least half an hour before I go to concert, before I go on stage. If I get a chance, I try to meditate for an hour or half an hour. If it's really bad, maybe at least few minutes I manage to. Sometimes some venues, the sound system in checkup is like go almost to the end. So that sometimes gives me only short time to, but then I try to really center myself. But if I get a chance, usually I try to really meditate, center myself, and motivate myself, just much bigger than just myself, just for fun or just to, not for just fame or money or things like that.
That's right.
Something try to create, hopefully something I can do that beneficial to humanity, to other people.
And that's so good for your music too, because that grounds you in the whole point.
Yeah.
Like your music is so personal and
So
for others.
Yeah. So then if I come on stage with that space and then play my music with that, then I feel much better. Something what I'm doing is becomes spiritual music. Then the spontaneous coming music, whatever coming music to me when I'm playing flute, that's a little bit different than just improvising. You're taking your mind into a little bit deeper state, trying to take it more contemplative state, right? Meditative state, and then coming out different melodies, different music out of that. That's a little bit different. I think it's not just only improvisation. So I feel in Tibetan tradition, all the 100,000 Song of Milarepa is spontaneous. He never sat down and wrote them down first and then just sang somebody. No. Whatever circumstance is, just there comes all this spiritual, beautiful spiritual, poetic, incredible poetic spiritual poem, and spontaneously singing. There is such a beautiful melody and moving people just like that. That is a real spontaneous music, that is deeper improvisation, much deeper. And then most of the different spiritual songs are like that, coming from these lamas, coming out of their meditative state, And then also I feel in the Tibetan tradition, talking about the story of Kesarobling. I went in Tibet in 91 to do research on Kesarobling. And we met an oracle called Samduk. He cannot even read the alphabet properly. Forget about anything else. But when he go into this trance, kind of like a meditative state, coming out like an 18 volume of Kesarobling story. And the poetries are incredible, the warriors when they're singing to each other.
Wow.
It's incredible. It's just coming spontaneously. So we do have Tibet has a spontaneous tradition.
Right.
And it's kind of improvisation.
Right.
But I think it's a more deeper improvisation, kind of deeper state of mind, So that's where something I feel I try to create my music out of that state. When I'm recording in the studio, I do the same. I try to meditate before I go on microphone. And then whatever comes, I play that. And then I compose, arrange different things, build up gradually. All my album like that, It's not there from the right beginning. It grows slowly. It takes its own shape, its own character, its own kind of being,
So it's not I mean, a lot of times people hear spontaneous, they think you just sort of make it up, and it's kind of like sometimes with jazz can be sort of all over the place and a little bit discursive sometimes. But there's really good jazz, or the great jazz masters. It's grounded in such experience and sort of personal feeling.
Right.
So it's not just discursive, whatever you think of. You've grounded yourself in sort of the point of it.
I think one difference with even jazz, things like that kind of music, I think certain music is just only coming from here, intellectual, just thought, thinking mind, just coming anything and just playing that, whether it's jazz or whether it's other improvisational music, any coming from here, But some music comes from your heart, from your deep spiritual ground. And I think that music is quite different. When people hear it, it touches differently. And the player himself or herself, I must say that, must feel something. It must move them. It must transform them some way, right? Whether it's jazz or what meditative music. And then listeners must share that. They can feel something, I think.
I guess, for people who maybe know vaguely what Buddhism is, it's a religion that has something to do with the Buddha, and there's meditation.
Yeah.
What is Buddhism, and what do you try and teach?
I feel that Buddhism as a religion, that is individual choice. If they want to be involved with that, practice different deity practice, and follow different really deep traditional approach, that's very individual thing, They can do that. And if they want, they can even become Buddhist, take refuge in. But I feel what I like to contribute to the world is the essence of Buddha Dharma, essence of Buddha's, I call it wisdom tradition.
Wisdom tradition.
Wisdom tradition. That is.
I like that term.
I like that term. It's a wisdom, actually, like a wisdom tradition. That what Buddha really shared to the humanity is, in heart, in essence, I think, how to transform human neurosis, human kaleshas, human different disturbing emotions, we call it, or some people call it afflictive emotions.
That's the kalesha.
Kalesha. How to transform the human being's emotion, that we call it, whether it's anger, whether it's greed, whether it's ignorance, whether it's jealousy, whether it's arrogance, all these emotions, due to these emotions, cause suffering to oneself and cause suffering to other people. So how to transform them? How to minimize them? How to face with this? If someone is a human being, is bound to have experienced these emotions. Rich or poor, educated, uneducated, or American people, or Tibetan, or doesn't matter. Every human being will go through that in their life. Whether they're Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, doesn't matter. But we need a true solution way how to transform them, how to transcend that, how to minimize this destructive emotion. That, I think, Buddhism has so much to contribute. He taught so many aspects of wisdom, that how we can face it, how to understand the core of these emotions. And that is, I think, the real psychology, psychotherapy, real healing. That's where really Buddhism has a lot to offer. People don't have to become Buddhist if they don't want to. If they are Buddhist, they become truly great Buddhists. If they transform their heart, these neuroses, this afflictive emotion, and then pray to Buddha, practice other deity practice, then they become true great Buddhists, right? If not, be good human being, good citizen of this world, you heal yourself, you transform yourself, and in the process, you can become a force, you can become a source to contribute that to the world. How to transform our heart, our neurosis, our afflictive emotion, our disturbing emotions, our unhappiness, our disturbed mind, sadness, all these things, violent mind. You know?
We interviewed Rabbi Zalman Schachter Shlomi, and whether you're Christian or you're Jewish or whatever, I mean, that's something, transforming your heart and working with your destructive emotions to be a source of good for the world. That's something any religion, or even if you have no religion, you can be passionate about doing that.
And then at the same time, on the top of that, that's the foundation of Buddha's teaching. Then on the top of that, I feel Buddha's teaching of love and compassion. How every humanity is born with this seed, this possibility, this potential, that we can love all beings. We can love all humanity. Doesn't matter people belong to what religious faith, whether it's Buddhist, among Buddhists, what tradition, Tibetan Buddhist or Thai Buddhist or Korean Buddhist or Japanese Buddhist or among Tibetan, Kaidu, Nyima, Satya, Gilo, doesn't matter. You can love all human beings. It doesn't matter whether somebody is from your race, from your culture, from your background. To love, able to love all beings. That kind of universal love and compassion. Truly there is a systematic training in Buddhism. Like, as you know, mind training, Lojong, or the equanimity and exchanging self to another by Shantideva, the great tradition. This is one of the greatest treasure in Tibet, I think, spiritual treasure, which Trungpa Rinpoche also shared in his students, all the mind training. So like this teaching, and Dalai Lama today, this is one of his greatest contribution to the world, in a very mild way, for the general public.
Right.
I think that's what they're going to hear at the Baptist Center, I think, because it's not Buddhist teaching, but he has his own way of teaching the essence of how to cultivate universal love and compassion in a very secular way.
How to be a good human being.
Good human being, and then showing certain tools how to enhance our heart, to grow, open our heart, become more loving, compassionate, warm toward others, caring toward others. When you see other human beings, you see one of you, you see someone like you, want happiness, don't want suffering. That's all. So therefore, how I don't want to be hurt, I should never hurt others. How I appreciate when people are nice to me, kind to me, helpful to me. It's same other fellow human beings. So I must be kind and loving to others.
Reminds me of the golden rule.
Exactly. So this is another, I feel, greatest contribution from Buddhism can give to the world. Is share these tools, how to cultivate, enhance love and compassion, and become unconditionally loving, universally loving to all beings. Independent, I feel, is a birthright for Tibetan people. Like me, I am born as an independent Tibet. Now I have to live one day with not independent Tibet, Tibet under China. That it will be reality maybe in some years' time. But on the other hand, I feel maybe what the Dalai Lama is seeing is this is the best possibility for Tibet. Maybe this is the way we can at least preserve our Tibetan culture, Tibetan civilization. At least if we can stop the millions of Chinese coming into Tibet,
Right.
So maybe at the same time it's giving, basically there's a two-way, it's like in a way, business negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
You try to get maximum benefit,
Mm.
but at the same time you have to give something out too,
Mm.
so that you can come in the middle way in order to move forward. So in this way, middle way, the Chinese government also getting what they want, Tibet being part of China.
Right.
But for the Tibetan, it's able to preserve their culture and civilization. But on the other hand, as you said, the railway now coming into Tibet. Now this could be the beginning of the end of Tibet. You know, right now Tibetans are already minority. There's more than 7.5 million Chinese in Tibet, against around 5 million Tibetan, maybe. So largest towns like Lhasa, Shigatse, Chikudo, those areas are it's just overwhelmed with Chinese already.
Mm.
Tibetans are already minority. So like this kind of massive migration in Tibet can totally become kind of diluted. So Tibet, I lived in Australia, I'm living in last 12 years in United States. What I see is perhaps Tibet might end up becoming like the Australian Aborigines or the Native Americans. You find them in the reservations or outback somewhere. Where the Tibetan, you will find somewhere else. It's mainly occupied by the Chinese. This could happen if we can't stop it. That's why Dalai Lama is doing the negotiation on the middle way. So complete autonomy. Inside Tibet, Tibetans will have our own life. China will have the defense,
Right.
and foreign policy they will take care.
Right.
But inside, Tibetan will run our own life. So in that way we can preserve our culture, civilization, and our religion, most importantly, Buddhism. So I feel that this is most realistic. So I'm for it. I support 100%. We are born with instinct that wanting happiness, not wanting suffering. So I usually joke about people that one of the universal declaration of human nature is when child is born, the child say, wow, crying, you know?
Mm.
That is like the declaration saying, I don't want suffering,
Right.
right?
Right.
As soon as the mother nurses, the child will be very quiet
Mm.
and peaceful. That's the second declaration saying, I want happiness.
Mm.
See?
Yeah.
So that religion, politics system, parent,
Yeah.
nobody has to teach that. It's naturally like that.
Mm.
Then contemplate about every day what you're doing. Think about why you're doing that. Because I want happiness. So therefore, I try to wear nice clothes, eat nice food, and have a nice friends, have some money in the bank in case it becomes sick or things I need to buy or pay the rent. You know, all these things, education, all because geared up, finding some happiness, minimizing some suffering, unhappiness in life. You know? So then you say all these things, I'm doing because of this basic human nature, wanting happiness, not wanting suffering. Then try to reflect the same reality on other human beings. All other human beings are also doing the same thing, different variety, but basically they also brush teeth, they get up, having breath, taking shower, putting nice clothes, trying to have some education, earn some money, have some good job, whatever, good friends, good partners, because they are like me. They also want happiness, don't want suffering. So the more we really truly feel that, we can almost sound ridiculous, but if we spend a little bit of time contemplating like this, I think it does something in your heart. Then you no longer see other human beings as like an object. Then you start to feel other human beings like one of yourself.
Right.
As I said before.
You develop empathy.
Empathy. And your heart open. You connect.
Right.
You feel like one of you.
Right.
And then also you relate how you don't want to be cause suffering, unhappiness.
Right.
I shouldn't do that to others.
Right.
How others people are nice and kind and generous to me, how much I appreciate. It's the same thing. Other human beings, same. So I must try to live a life, basically trying to be helpful to others. Bottom line, what Dalai Lama usually say, if you, the most important thing, you try to live a life not hurting anybody, trying to restrain from hurting any beings. Then on the top of that, if you can be beneficial and helpful to others, try to do that. Try to be that. That's the essence of Dharma, all spirituality. That's what he says. And I really feel that's such essential and something useful to everybody. All humanity, all species will benefit from this basic realization of non-harming and compassion in action, helping others, benefiting others, to try to become a server in life.